I was born in Brooklyn, New York, and growing up with parents who were Holocaust survivors, I actually didn't have a chance to really experience nature. I did learn a lot about gratitude. I mean, they were grateful just to have a roof over their head, food on their table, the miracle of having children based on what they went through, and an appreciation for life. My mom was extraordinary. She cooked, she cleaned, she took care of us, never said she was tired, never said she was exhausted, always wanted to be of service. That taught me a lot about gratitude, and with that type of a background of knowing that your family was basically eliminated. I have no idea what my family or grandparents look like, no photographs, there's no history there. You want to be involved in fighting for social justice. So I thought I was going to end up becoming a lawyer. I was a poli-sci history major, but when I went to UCLA, it was in the midst of the late 60s, early 70s demonstrations against the Vietnam War. And how could I study the French Revolution when there was a revolution happening right outside my doorway? So I picked up a camera. In order to fight back, I started to document the protests that were going on campus. I found it much easier to do a photo essay than a term paper, and I found my voice. And once I discovered photography, it led me to my greatest teacher, which was Mother Nature. Anything you want to learn about lighting, color, composition, movement can be taught by just observing nature. In addition to that are the values that Mother Nature can teach you, like cooperation, relationships, how to live a sustainable life. These are all values that I try to adhere to in my life. And the beauty of having a camera is it's a tool for self-exploration. So in essence, that became my practice. Growing up under this umbrella of gratitude that I had in my household from my parents, who appreciated all the little things in life because of what their experiences were, became a bridge into really becoming present when I was filming nature. Because when you're grateful, you become mindful, and mindful means you're becoming present. So you're becoming an observer. And when you become an observer, you're really able to put yourself into the subject matter. You become one with that experience. You're becoming conscious of the biological processes that make the world go round. You start to appreciate life. You want to celebrate life. You become more awakened to the fact that this could actually be heaven on earth. When you look at nature, you're basically looking into a mirror. Every cell in your body is replicating the movements and patterns and rhythms of nature. And we have become so disconnected from it in this information overload world we live in. We need to reconnect with who we are. Nature is a wonderful portal into connecting with the deepest part of your soul. By taking people on a journey through time and scale, you realize that the human point of view is a very limited point of view in many ways, but technically we're looking at life as 24 frames per second, which is the way cameras record imagery and project imagery. There's a whole world out there of, the fruit fly that only lives one day and the redwood tree that can live 1,000 years. Their frame rates are radically different than our frame rate. And when you begin to understand that this life energy on the planet has so many different points of view, you build empathy for all living things. We all want to see incredible visuals, but guess what? If it's based on reality, if it's based on something that's organic, it's not a spaceship blowing up, it's not some sci-fi cartoon. The brain looks at that and says, oh my God, this is real, and I've never seen that before, and therefore I'm going to cherish it. Some of the research that's coming out now is reinforcing a belief that we all know instinctively, which is that beauty can heal you. We are so stressed out with our digital devices that we have become disconnected from nature. But I believe, rather than saying that all digital devices are bad, let's use them as a bridge technology that can show you things that you'll never be able to see. I mean, it is much more important, clearly, to take a walk in the woods, but you may never experience what it's like to go underwater and swim with a whale. You may never go in your backyard and watch your flowers open and close. If we can inspire the heart to fall in love with nature then you will do everything you can to protect and celebrate life. Nature's taught me a lot of skills beyond just filming beauty. It's taught me a lot about being an entrepreneur, how to be resilient. You don't take no for an answer. I've been turned down 99% of the time when I pitch a project. I'm that salmon swimming upstream because the story I want to tell is my mission. It's my cause, it's my passion, it's my business. But in any ecosystem, for it to flourish, everybody needs to flourish. Nothing in nature lives alone. Nature really works on collaboration, mutual relationships. Pollination, I think, is a wonderful example of that. The bees gather nectar and pollen for their young, and in the process of doing that, they are moving the DNA forward for the flowers because the flowers can't walk, they need to reproduce, the pollinators become a messenger. It's a wonderful little story, but on a grander scale, not only does it help the bees feed their young and flowers get a chance to reproduce, guess what? We get food. All the fruits, nuts, vegetables, seeds, medicine, shelter. That all comes because of this little, tiny little interaction that happens billions of times every day. When I'm working on projects, I try to emulate that same type of process. Collaboration with crew members, collaboration with other organizations. That is life. I like to take people on a journey where they can create their own story. And nature is a healing modality. Being in the moment is all it is. Having the blank mind, terra incognito, looking at something with no preconceived ideas. My meditative practice is to emulate what it's like to be a piece of film. Sitting in the camera, in the dark, always ready for light to strike, without any preconceived ideas, in a state of readiness for anything to happen.